3 points. We're jumping into this round 4 game, Magnus Carlsen with the black pieces. He was in a little bit of trouble in round 3, but he won the game and is on 3 out of 3.
Yeah, and Magnus has had enough of pushing his A-pawn, his H-pawn on move 1. He's back to mainstream openings. This was now he plays H6 as he sips from that giant container of water. And yeah, he's back to the mainline openings. This was a Sicilian. It looks like he's going to get an isolated queen's pawn in the near future. There will be a trade of these 2 pawns. But yeah, very, very classical stuff. Just as I said it, H-pawn, then A-pawn. And now he's going to bring out his knight next, Magnus Carlsen. He's playing very, very classical form of chess here as we see his opponents appear.
That's Anton Demchenko from Slovenia, 38 years old, a grandmaster with the FIDE rating of 26-28. That's also actually his peak rating. So he's playing some good chess these days on chess.com. Look at that. He's above 3,000. Someone who definitely can cause some trouble to Magnus Carlsen. And look at that. He's already better on the eval bar in this game.
Yeah, it's essentially because black will have a slightly worse structure here. Magnus doesn't mind playing with isolated queen's pawns. He defends them very actively. He knows which endgames are acceptable, which ones to avoid. This is a small target. Computers love playing against it. But yeah, Magnus won't mind so much. Demchenko, especially while he was playing for Russia, I thought he was so underrated. Like he was nearly winning the European Championship year after year, despite being 2,500. And
wow.
Now finally he's hitting his peak, despite not being so young anymore. And nice to see. He's a very dangerous opponent. He once crushed me in like 20 moves in classical chess, which not many people do. So yeah, not an easy game. That's why Magnus is back to his best openings.
Wow. All right. Well, it's a challenge for him then.
Yeah, you can't play your joke openings now that your opponents are over 3,000. Then it's time to back to your serious openings.
Yeah. And Demchenko did score 7.5 points last week in Title Tuesday. Ended up in 38th place. So this is someone who definitely can beat Magnus Carlsen. What is your FIDE rating, Asbjørn?
It's around 1900, but I don't actually play. It's been the same since 2010 because I only played Bullet and online chess, and you don't get FIDE rating there. So it's classical chess. It's too slow, you know, playing hours.
So basically, with everything you do in streaming, DJing, working with Take, being a friend with Magnus Carlsen, going to all these chess raves and everything you do, playing over-the-board chess is not on top of your priority list anymore.
Not at least classical over-the-board chess. I enjoy Blitz over-the-board and Rapid even, but the classical ones where it takes a lot of time and played a lot of classical chess before, but it's I don't have time for it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And when I talk about this guy being busy, you guys, he really is, and you know everyone in chess. It seems like whenever we get a guest here or we talk about someone in the chess world, streaming world, Asbjørn's like, I can contact that person. I know him. Or celebrities in Norway hanging out with people, board game nights at Asiel's place. You are a busy man.
Watch a lot of streams, and there are a lot of chess players there, you know.
And in the meantime, there has been a trade of 1 set of knights, a trade of 1 set of pawns, but the question is, whose pawns are better placed right now? White lost a bit of pawn shelter in front of his king, as the black bishop was able to lurch forward and grab a pawn. Black lost his isolated queen's pawn, so maybe trading off his weakness for an opponent's strength there was a good transition for Magnus, but white's pieces are very nicely centralized, and I'm expecting the white queen now to step out. Nope, he drops his bishop back instead, and keeps it nice and safe, not able to trade that piece off now. Yeah, I have a feeling Magnus is happy-ish, especially due to the clock situation yet again, but still yet to be seen whether he can really carve out an advantage or create anything special. The move the white wants to play is this one, so Demchenko will be calculating whether he can get away with it. Ideas of even taking this knight due to a pin on the diagonal, but he brings his queen out to a different square instead, asking the black knight to re-enter the center of the board to hit that piece. And yeah, I have a feeling this will be, again, a typical Magnus. Wait. Patience, and when his opponent's under the 1 minute mark, tactics.
And he has a huge advantage on the clock already.
And also that queen is cornered. Nobody likes a cornered queen. It's quite strong on the diagonal, helps its bishop, keeps an eye on the white king, keeps it nice and safe, but does make an odd impression. I'm expecting Magnus to play moves such as b5 maybe in the near future, just to try and undermine White's structure with a very strong pawn and bishop combo.
It's weird because White centers kind of look kind of strong, but then there are probably so many like holes. I was imagining something like getting the rook in the d file and with moving away the knight or the bishop. There are some threats there, but I guess yeah, there are some knight f3 ideas. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Ooh. Magnus plays my move and the bar drops. Typical.
I wonder what was the best move there, because it was hard to find something.
Yeah, the best move for Magnus would have been to drop his bishop back just to prepare some potential knight checks, but now it's getting complicated. Demchenko finding a very good move to try and trade off the knights. And Magnus cannot really take this knight yet, just because after a trade, the white bishop will replace it with a skewer on the diagonal. So Magnus forced to move his rook. Yeah, this one's very, very tense. Demchenko is playing very, very well. And Magnus has lost some of his time advantage, but still up a bit of time on the clock.
In the room next to Magnus Carlsen in the David Cave, Andrew Tang has made a comeback. He won in round 4 after losing on the clock in round 3. He's back. The Penguin already. That's a quick win for Andrew Tang.
The penguin is flying.
Yeah.
Can they fly?
I don't think so. I think that's like the only bird.
Yeah. But yeah, I think so, yeah. But Andrew can fly. So
But Andrew can fly.
And this position, Magnus is trying to trade off the bishops. And very tempting to take this piece because Magnus would be left with an isolated pawn in the center, but there would be an attack against the white bishop behind and a newfound attack against this pawn. So bit of a dilemma for Demchenko. Probably he shouldn't touch anything. Maybe just centralize the white queen, bring her out to a more active square. Instead, he pushes a pawn on the other flank. That pawn is vulnerable. Probably can't take it yet because the black queen is forced to defend her bishop. But Demchenko trying to play on all sides of the board, trying to save it in an endgame. That's brave. Going into an endgame against Magnus Carlsen. Actually dropping a pawn against Magnus Carlsen. Not normally good news. Black also has this outside pass pawn. So if the queens disappear, rooks disappear, this black pawn is going to win the game. Magnus now must be a big favorite here. He's going to get his king out. He's going to, at will, take this pawn and go into a rook endgame. Probably you don't want to rush it. But Demchenko is going to have to defend this forever. Can't see him holding it.
No. Also, yeah, down a minute on the clock. So, and Magnus is just... Oof.
Magnus is too strong.
Offers a rook, but the pawn is running. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be 3 connected pass pawns for Magnus Carlsen. Bishop and 2 pawns, normally equivalent to a rook. Bishop and 3 pawns, just too strong. And 1 pawn will keep the black king sheltered. The other pawns will hold each other's hands and march down the board. And the white king cannot actually get over into the corner to block those pawns. Very, very important detail. This would be a draw, by the way, if Demchenko could give up 1 rook for this pawn and maybe another pawn, and the white king could sit in the corner in front of in front of the black h pawn alone. But that's just impossible.
It's looking good for Magnus Carlsen in round 4. I can see him talking to his viewers. Let's...
Management actually gets punished now.
Still fighting, but yeah, now
degree than it did before.
Third pawn is gonna come rolling.
It's just more demanding.
Yes,
he did play a good game.
Yeah.